Hi guys, it's Brookelynne and welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be kind of a different one. I haven't really done this video on my channel before. It's a parenting video, which I have done. I've done like quite a few parenting videos, like about motherhood and stuff, but I've never really covered the topic completely on newborn tips or parenting with sight loss, because I am a severely visually impaired mum of, well, technically three, but there's two French bulldogs and one human child, and my son is 3 months old, the baby, and I'm just here to kind of give you the newborn tips and tricks and hacks, newborn hacks for parents, mums, dads, whoever who are living with some sort of level of sight loss, whether you're slightly visually impaired all the way to completely blind. Now, a disclaimer, I'm not going to tolerate any hate on this video. So if you say comments like, oh, blind people shouldn't have kids or disabled people shouldn't have kids, what are you doing having kids? That's so selfish. You're going to get blocked and you'll be an idiot anyway to say that, because at the end of the day, everyone has the choices in their own life, and I'm perfectly capable of being a parent, and I think I pretty much am. Me and my husband, who is fully sighted, he doesn't have any level of sight loss, but me and him have kept our son, our human child, as well as two Frenchies, or fur babies, alive for years. So we know how to raise a child and we know how to look after dependents. So any hate just gets blocked. I just had to get that out of the way. So there you go. You kind of know where you stand. So since my son is well and truly out of the newborn stage, which is really, really sad, he's 3 months old, these are some tips, tricks, hacks for you who may be pregnant or thinking about becoming a mum, a dad, and who have some level of sight loss. Now, no two people with a visual impairment are the exact same, because visual impairment, sight loss, blindness all exist in a spectrum, like I said before, and also different like levels. You could have like a patchier eyesight, you could have like better eyesight like distance than close up. You could be better close up than the distance, which is what I am. I'm better, I've better eyesight close up, so it works really well in my favour. You could have like tunnel vision, you could have, there's all different types of like sight loss, and this may or may not help you, but hopefully it does. And if it doesn't really, there is organisations, if you're aware of, I'm sure you are, that will help. So that goes into my number one tip, is if you're pregnant or you are thinking about becoming a parent, or you already are in the newborn stage, particularly if you are like planning a child or expecting a child, I would say go to the organisation in your country that deals with sight loss. In the UK we have the RNIB, which is amazing. They do have like a help, or like a resource thing for parents who live with sight loss, and they're able to give you such amazing advice depending on your level of sight. They can help you. Say for instance you're completely blind, they can maybe get things adapted in your home, or like put labels like with braille or whatnot on things and give you tips on that type. If you're completely blind, give you tips on adapting your home that way for a child. Or you can give you advice and kind of help to get hired help, you can get that. Or if you are like visually impaired, you can get things like, they can kind of fight on your behalf for things larger print, or they could get like larger print labels on different sort of appliances, different type of, do you know what I mean? They have like loads of different ways to adapt to being a parent and have loads of different advice. So I would definitely recommend go, if you don't know any organisations that help people with sight loss in your country, look for them, do research online. Obviously you're online, if you're watching this video you're connected to the internet, so do your research, Google whatever, Google different kind of organisations, even ones who just cover like a wide range of disabilities. Do your research and reach out to them charities, companies, organisations to help you before your baby is born, and you should get the tailored help that you need. And yes, and also coming into that number one tip is look into linking up with some sort of kind of parenting charity, parenting organisation that can help you in your area or in your country where you live. In the UK they have Sure Start, they have Home Start, and they have other different charities too, or organisations that is there to help parents. So I'm linked into Sure Start in my area and they are amazing. And if you live in an area where you can't get Sure Start, I would definitely recommend them. I'm not sure they have that in like the US or Australia or whatnot, but if there's somewhere similar there should be. And if there's not, that's no, they should have them worldwide to be fair. They're amazing. I would say link up with an organisation like that before you have your baby. I should have got in touch with Sure Start before because they do have a lot of stuff for pregnancy, and they run sort of like baby clubs, like mums and tots, to do like baby massages, parenting courses. They have like a nursery for when your child reaches 2. They are amazing. So many different resources, so many different options for support. And it could be just for parenting, it is parenting in general, but they do have kind of some training for people who have disabilities who are parents as well, which is absolutely amazing. They are so helpful, so get in contact with them or somewhere similar if you haven't already. And in terms of doing your research too, and getting in, like linking up and getting in the know of support organisations, there's also like maybe your local church does like mums and tots groups, like pretty much parent and toddler groups. Like your kid doesn't have to be a toddler to join up. You can bring them from as young as newborn. That's what I did with my son. I brought him when he's a couple of weeks old to my local church's mums and tots group, and I bring him to that every single week, and he loves it and I love it too. It's a great way to meet new parents, and also Sure Start's great for meeting new parents as well, and any other organisation like that. And obviously the RNIB, if you do link up with other parents, other mums with sight loss, it's a really, really amazing group support because you kind of understand each other and you're able to kind of pass off tips and tricks and hacks that way, and it's just an amazing way to give each other support. And the mums and tots groups, basically your child has different kind of wee areas of play. There's a baby area, there's a toddler area, there's different toys, and then parents, mums can get a cup of tea, chat in a wee circle. It's absolutely lovely. I love it. Some places you get them for free and just go for free. Some places are a small charge, but I would definitely recommend at least going once a week. I would do it more if you can, but once a week get out and meet our people. More than once a week I would say, to be fair, but for them mums and tots, try to go more than once a week or at least once a week. They are absolutely amazing. I can't recommend them enough. And having the church, like your own local church, if you are a Christian, is amazing too, to support you and support you and your child and kind of being there for you as well. And yes, definitely. And also going into this tip as well, it's a big long one, like the number one tip to building your like support network is kind of having your family and friends around you to offer support. Now I'm not saying palm off your child every single day, all day, every day, no, that's using, but having like your family and friends and your partner being there to support you and having them to talk to is amazing too. And maybe like they can take you out, or if anyone in your family, any of your friends have kids as well, going on wee walks with them and just having that people there to talk to and give you a break if and when you need them, because when you're a parent you do need breaks. It does take a village and you will need to have some sort of time to refresh, because yeah, it takes a village to raise a child. And I don't say that to be like selfish, I say it because it is true. If you think about it, when your child goes to nursery or preschool, school, the teachers are pretty much helping to bring that child up. They're teaching that child about life, and you're sending your child to like clubs or activities. The leaders are looking after your child, they're helping to look after your child, and they're kind of having an involvement in your child's life. So it does take a village one way or another, it does, and we all can't do it on our own. There's no such thing as superwoman, superman. You need that village of support, and that's not a patronising thing. Every parent, no matter disabled, non-disabled, whatnot, they deserve and they need that village of support, and I just wish everyone had it. So if you don't have it, try to build it. You'll thank me. Just try to build it in every which way. Even social services too, people think, oh no, but they can be helpful, and yeah, they will kind of help get adaptations to your phone. They will help with like adaptations to your home, or having a support worker out to help you in bringing up the child and giving you advice. There's all different levels in your country of support, all different services. Look into them, and yeah, you need to be as prepared as possible. And that's a number 2 tip, because that one I went into for ages. So the second tip is to do research. Research as much on parenting, on bringing up a child, even before you get pregnant or your baby's due or you're expecting, or if you're a dad of your girlfriend, partner, wife, looking up like stuff about babies, about how to look after a baby, about bringing up a child. Do as much research. Everyone does say that nothing really prepares you, but see, being prepared, like even some level of preparedness, it helps you a long way, especially if you do have some level of sight loss, visual impairment. Being as prepared as you can will help you so much, because unfortunately for us it is harder because we don't have the full sight that other people who don't have sight loss do. So we need to be prepared as possible, and looking up and doing research and kind of figuring out the best ways for you to bring up your child, and the best ways around like practical stuff is going to help you so much. And there's Google, there's baby books, get them in large print or braille. There's YouTube. Now I've never came across any type of video on YouTube that goes into like parenting with sight loss, which is sad. So hopefully this video, if you're looking for that, hopefully my video does help you. And if you do wonder why I talk fast, I'm sorry, but if you find talk too fast for you, you can slow down the speed in this video a bit and it might make more sense. But yeah, just do as much research and everything, and just kind of have a plan in your head how you're going to handle like the newborn stage and the baby stage and all that type of the fun of parenting, just to kind of get a head start before your baby's due. And that's just amazing. Like that's amazing, just to be prepared. And I found YouTube, just parenting in general, like parenting videos on YouTube, like newborn videos, and kind of like a list of like newborn essentials, stuff like that. I found them videos and vlogs, mummy vloggers too, on YouTube. I found them videos really helpful for me, because I'm like, oh, I got a wee tip for, oh, my child's sleeping, this product helps, or if they're not sleeping, this routine might help, or what formula to use, or breastfeeding or something like that. It's all like helpful. Like being prepared and having all that information, it's going to help you a great deal. No, it helped me a great deal. And yes, just I 100% recommend that as well. Tip number 3 is to adapt your house. Pretty much means that have a place for everything. Get your house ready for your child. And that goes for anyone. These tips can be adapted for anyone who is expecting or wanting to become a parent. Having your house adapted and ready for your baby coming home is going to help you, and having a place for everything is going to help, especially if you struggle with your sight, you have sight loss. See, having everything organised, everything laid out, where a place for everything. So let's say my son's room, I've got him like a chest of drawers, like 3 drawers pull out from like a chest of drawers, do you know what I mean? Like a drawer cabinet, you know what I mean? Like, so I've organised that. For example, the first drawer I've put like a couple of towels, I put his bath stuff, I've put his nappies, his wipes, spare wipes, nappy cream, etc. in that. The second drawer I have his wee vests, I have his bibs and everything, and his socks and his mittens. And pair your socks, put them into pairs, or get your partner to do that. And the third drawer is like sleep suits, like baby grows and outfits, and I have the outfits put into like the purse, like the right kind of outfit, so it helps me. Because trust me, if you're scrambling around looking for something in the drawer when you have a screaming baby, that is one of the worst, because you're stressed because you're trying to get your baby sorted out and their needs met, but you're also like, you can't do it as quickly because you're looking for something you need and you can't find it, or you're struggling to find it. It's the worst and it's so frustrating. So see, having everything set out, and even getting like your husband or partner or like friends or family to help you do that, is gonna be a lifesaver. And then another thing with having everything laid out in the kitchen, I have a wee section in one of the cupboards dedicated for Noah's bottles and his formula and his dummies too. Like, I have spare dummies in the cupboard and spare formula in his bottles and everything. And that lets me, like, it has a place and it helps me just grab what I need from the cupboard to make his bottle. I am formula feeding. I was combo feeding at the start, but it didn't really work out, so I'm formula feeding. And see, grabbing the bottle from the cupboard, so handy. The formula sitting beside the prep machine. And another thing, see, getting a prep machine, like Tiny Tippy perfect prep machine, it's a lifesaver. Now, I know some people don't agree with them, but I think as long as you make sure they're cleaned, even getting like someone else to help you clean that will be amazing. And if you're visually impaired like myself, that, see, like having that measure out the exact amount of water you need for the exact amount of ounces, having it the exact temperature, not having to like only thing you have to measure out is the scoops. But that's, for my type of eyesight, that's easy enough for me to do, because the formula I use, like the scoops, 1 scoop's 1 ounce, and that's easy enough for me to kind of do. So, but having like that machine measure out the water to the perfect level, like the perfect measurement, and it tells you, kind of guides you. It does have big print, so it's really good if you're visually impaired. It has really, really big print. I'm not sure about like completely blind. Maybe you could get an adapted one. Like, that'll be amazing if Tiny Tippy brought out one that spoke to you. That'll be absolutely a lifesaver. So having that, like having your home adapted like that, and the RNIB could help to adapt your home. They can get like talking scales, they can get like braille labels, large print labels like I said before, and they can help give you advice on that too. And another thing with preparing your home, I cannot have clutter on my floor. I'm not really one that much for clutter on my floor, but my two Frenchies, my Frenchie kids, they love throwing their toys all up and down my stairs, which I've had to kind of stop them doing that. Sometimes it happens, but I have to be more on top of like my house. I know people say let it slide. I can't, because if I trip and fall with my child, that's hot. That's bad. That's bad. So having support to help you with your house as well is vital, and making sure like your floors are clear, there's no obstacles to bump into, you know where everything is, you know, like say for instance you're fully blind, do you have like you can guide yourself, the people who are fully blind kind of memorize the layout of their house with their cane, and they kind of know. So doing that, getting your house sorted out before baby's born and memorizing where everything is, it's going to help you so much as well. And yeah, just really being prepared. And also for dummies as well, I would recommend, so a number 4 tip for like if you plan to use dummy or pacifier or saver, whatever you call them. In the UK we call them dummies. You can get these things called dummy clips. They're basically like a string of like a material, and it has a metal clip or plastic clip that clips onto your baby's baby grow, sleep suit or outfit, and then the other end has a wee tie thing where you can tie your dummy or pacifier, like whatever you call it, onto that string. So if your child is one for spitting out dummies, know it's done it quite a few times, and they threw them across the room when I don't have that clip on. And sometimes I see where they are, sometimes I'm searching for a good hot minute looking for that dummy. I'm like, child, stop throwing your dummy out, your mum doesn't have the best eyesight. So see, having your dummy on a clip string, it's going to be a lifesaver. So if they spread it out, it's not going to go anywhere, so it's going to like be on their outfit. And also for like dummies, maybe try to get them in bright colours, so if they do throw them, it's easier to see. So say for instance like a neon blue or neon pink, or you can get glow in the dark dummies. I've never got them, but they are a really good idea, especially if you struggle with your eyesight and it's dark and you don't want to turn your light on if your child's sleeping and maybe they're suddenly stirred in their sleep and you're trying to put a dummy in their mouth just before they fully wake up, so you get that extra bit of sleep, you know what I mean? And having the glow in the dark dummy, it's got to be a lifesaver. You just lift it and put it in their mouth and they'll sleep longer. You don't have to turn on the light, risk waking them up and everything like that. So going for like bright colours, and their outfits, if you struggle with like colour coordination, having them in contrasting colours is going to help as well. And with having everything like wee tips like that, I would say for your bottles, like you get the lids, once your child's done drinking their milk, put the lid back on, because the amount of times I've lost a lid, or Horton, he's treated the lid on me one time and I screamed the house down. Choose the lid or the go missing does my absolute bapping. I'm one of them people who are perfectionists. I cannot have anything out of its place. I have to have the bottles colour coordinated to their colour, and if they're mixed up, it just drives me nuts, drives me insane. So, and if there's bits missing, I'm like, it is first world problems, but it does do my head in, and especially if you do have sight loss, you struggle more to find things. So just kind of having them in that place too, like putting them back where you found them pretty much, does help. And that also, like, keeping on top of your house and everything, and keeping on top of where everything is, will help you a great deal. And another thing is for sight loss, so getting a pram that's easy to steer. My pram, it's a travel system, it's by Phoenicia, it's a lovely teal green colour. I tried out a few different prams in the pram shops, and I made sure that my pram was lightweight, easy to push, and not awkward and clunky, because if you do struggle with eyesight, it takes you longer and you have to focus more to get around places. So see, having to like push around a pram that doesn't steer well or doesn't push well, it's really awkward. It's a nightmare. So making sure you find a pram that's gonna be easy for you to push, easy for you to like put up and like set up and put away, and practice with that pram before you have the child too. And if you are visually impaired or severely visually impaired, but you've got some sight but you're not completely blind, like having a pram that's easy to push is going to be amazing. Especially like you can just push it and still kind of see where you go, and you're not having to worry about kind of getting your pram in different places and struggling to push it. But you can also, if you don't really want to use a pram all the time, you can get like baby carriers. And if you do use a cane, I've heard people wearing their babies and having the cane. I didn't really feel comfortable with that. I don't feel comfortable because I'm scared of like tripping on a curb or something like that because I'm clumsy. So I prefer pushing a pram, and I'm lucky enough to have eyesight that allows me to push my child's pram and still see where I'm going. So yeah, just kind of look at, goes into research as well, look into what's going to be the best option for you. And if you are buying like your baby stuff from like a baby shop, ask advice from like the person that works there, what's the best and everything. So yes, and having a routine is tip number 5, I think. Is tip number 5? One of them too, I'm getting off topic, and their dog's barking out the front there. So having a routine in place before a baby's born, like a sleep routine. This goes for like non-disabled parents too. The thing that me and my husband did was night shift pattern. So basically we took 12 hours of the night, split it into 2 6-hour chunks. One person set up with the child, they slept while Noah slept, and then the other person was upstairs sleeping for the full 6 hours. Once them 6 hours was up, we switched it round. The person who was sleeping upstairs goes downstairs, like looks after the baby, while the person who was doing that sleeps upstairs. And when my son was sleeping, the person who was downstairs kind of taking the shift, they slept as well. We still do that now as I'm filming it. We are going to transition into like having him sleep in this room, all always going to bed at the same time. And my son is, I'm so lucky, and touch wood, this never changes, but my son is a really good sleeper. He is starting to sleep for the night. There's sometimes like half the time he will wake up once, but he gets his bottle, he gets changed, he's straight back down like a light for a couple more hours, and we're so lucky. But he's such a good nighttime sleeper. But we didn't know he was going to be, obviously when he was born he wasn't like sleeping for the night. He was waking up every 3 or 4 hours throughout the night, which is good for a newborn. But we didn't know whether he was going to be a good sleeper, a terrible sleeper, or an alright sleeper. So having that night shift pattern saved us, because people were asking us all the time, you just look so fresh for having a newborn. And I'd said night shift pattern, and if you can do it, adapt it to your kind of schedules throughout the day. And even if your partner does get paternity leave, maybe try to get that extended if you can, if you are able to. And if you can't do like a night shift sort of routine for like the way me and my husband does it or did it, whatever, try to adapt it to what you need, and it'll help you get as much sleep as you can. I know for my eyesight I needed to have a night shift pattern, because my eyesight's actually worse when I don't have good sleep. I have nystagmus and I'm legally blind, but I'm severely visually impaired. So I know I needed a good sleep to make sure I had good sleep to be able to focus too, because I had ADHD as well. But having routines in place, and also throughout the day, feeding routines, try to, obviously the first few weeks a newborn baby just feeds whenever they're hungry, but after a few weeks is up, if you plan to kind of do a schedule, I would recommend doing a schedule. Look up as much information on schedules and everything. So for the first month of my baby's life, I kind of fed him when he was hungry, but he did follow a certain sort of pattern. But I noticed he did get a bit of colic, like wind build up. So I was like, right, he's getting on a schedule to help his stomach. So I started doing it like every 2.5 hours between like each feed. Like it was like on a 2.5 hour schedule, and then I stretched to 3 hours. So my son is on a 3 hour feeding schedule. Obviously when he's sleeping during the night, I don't wake him, I just let him sleep. And that's perfectly fine. He's fine. He needs to sleep. And so do you. So during the days on a 3 hour feeding schedule, and that helps us get into a routine with him. And so it kind of helps you plan, because obviously when you have sight loss, you have more to plan than someone who doesn't have sight loss. You have to think more clearly and more thoroughly about things. So having a schedule like that's going to help you. And yeah, sleep schedules, feeding schedules, look it all up and kind of plan. Work out what's going to work in your favour before your child is born. That's a really good tip I did. And it just makes you kind of know where you stand. It makes you know where you stand. So yeah. And routines could be, say for instance, you go to Mums and Tots a certain day, let's say Wednesday, so you know, right, I have to pack my son's stuff or my child's stuff. For me, Mums and Tots, I have to go Wednesday morning. I make sure in my son's nappy bag, like diaper bag, whatever, I make sure that I have that organised the night before. I make sure he's got plenty of nappies, diapers, whatnot in that bag, so he's set for the day. Make sure he has a change of clothes. I make sure he has like any kind of like medication he might need, like Calpol or may need Infocol. I make sure it's in that bag. I make sure he has like you know the wee dispensers of formula, like to make up the bottles. Usually I just make them up before I go out, but I do make sure I have a spare, or make sure I have a spare ready to drink. bottle of formula for him, in a spare kind of empty sterilised bottle ready for him. Oh, and a sterilizer. If you can, colour coordinate and organise your bottles in like a way so it's easy to put them together, to put them in the cupboard. So I make sure I have the bottles together in order, so I can just put them, like screw them together, put them in the cupboard, instead of having them free in there willy-nilly. They're in a nice organised fashion. And with washing bottles, rinse them once your child has done drinking, eating their food. Rinse the bottles really well, take them apart. I use the man bottles, they are amazing, and Tommy Tippy bottles are really good too. I make sure to rinse them, dismantle them, like take them apart, put them in the sink, so that's half the bottle. And then once I've got a good few piled up, I use like really warm soapy water, and I have one of them bottle brushes, and I make sure I kind of clean them twice, like go over them with the brush twice, and use my sensitive touch too. Also look up close to them to make sure they're clean, but also use my sensitive touch to make sure there's no kind of leftover milk in them or anything like that. And then rinse them, and then I kind of put them in their order to get sterilised. And see, doing that, it helps you so much. It does. Like using your other senses to guide you as well is going to help you. But yeah, getting on to organisation. So making sure you have everything that you need the night before you go to like a certain activity. So my son has mums and tots. I make sure he has what he needs the night before in the bag. Obviously, if I'm making up his bottle, I will do it in the machine just as I leave, if he's due one. Usually before he goes, he does have a bottle when he gets up. But if it's been like, he's been up a couple of hours and he's due one when he gets there, I will make it up so it's ready for him when he starts to get hungry, when it's his like bottle time. And I can get the bottle to him at the club, so he has it there. And yeah, one thing that annoys me when other people sort my bags, they kind of leave things out. So say to people, if say for instance you're getting ready and your partner or your friend, whoever's taking you, or family member, say to them, now don't leave any of this stuff out because I really have sorted that out, or I need that. Don't leave anything out. It's just so frustrating. Or keep it in the order. Make sure if you left anything out or you've changed something, tell me. It's so annoying when you're trying to find something, because having it in order is going to be easier for you. And I'm trying to think of other things. There's plenty. Yes, onto the routines as well. So I'm so sorry, it's going to be all over the place, like I'm thinking, because there's new tips coming into my head. Having a day, say for instance, do your washing for baby's clothes. Obviously, separate your baby's clothes out from your own. Having their own separate wash bag for your baby's clothes compared to your own. And then having the separate kind of washing powder, washing liquid, gel, whatever you use. Having a day once or twice a week, depends on how much time, or depending on how often you need to wash the clothes. Maybe twice a week, I would say. It's when I do my son's clothes. So what I do is I kind of take what I need out of his wash bag. So if it's really full, do 2 loads. If it's like not really that full, but it's full enough for a wash, do 1 load and make sure to judge how much washing I need to do. A good tip is I get these colour catcher sheets. So basically a sheet of fabric, and instead of having to organise like the colours in certain orders and everything, having the colour catcher sheet at the bottom of the drum of your washing machine is going to help you loads, because you don't have to worry about the colours bleeding into the clothes and ruining your baby's beautiful outfits. And that also works for your outfits too, and your husband's, and whoever lives with you as well. But having that to put at the bottom of your washing machine. And then also, like, I love the washing gel. Like, there's one I use by Fairy and there's also one by Lidl. I love them both. And they have the wee lid, and you just fill it up to a certain amount. You can get from RNIB wee measures to tell you, the bleed to tell you when you're getting to the level. So use that if your site's like not able to physically see where you're pouring it. I'm okay to see without using them wee devices because I can see like where level is and I kind of judge it that way. So I basically just pour the gel into the wee cap, put it into the washing machine once I put the clothes in, put it on for like a mix wash, and then I rinse and drain it. There's another resetting in my washing machine, everyone's different, but I put it on a drain cycle after the 30 minutes is over. So once that drain's done, like once the clothes are drained, it takes out half the water so it's easier to dry. And then I kind of hang them up, make sure they're smooth. I'm very particular, but I make sure like shake the clothes, make sure there's no really wrinkles in them, and just kind of spread them out on the clothes horse. And having a day to do something like that, like it does sound boring, but see, having a schedule, a day to do something, right, Wednesday or Monday or whatever is my wash day. So I know I have to wash my child's clothes, and I know just to make sure I'm organised with that. So it'll help you a great deal. And sterilising the bottles, making sure to get them done at a certain time of the day or whatever, like making sure you kind of keep yourself on track, because being organised is something you have to do when you have sight loss, even as a parent in general. But if you have sight loss, because we do have extra challenges, being organised helps us out quite a lot. And I do talk about organisation, being organised a lot in this video. But yeah, and also kind of having your village to kind of keep you right as well. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it like informative. I hope I haven't been too rambly on this video or anything. I hope I've just been making sense to you, and hopefully these help you, and hopefully you have a really good journey on your parenting journey. It's amazing. Now, don't get me wrong, it's hard work, but it is so worth it. And I'll see you again for the next video. Stay gorgeous. God bless. Bye.